Hey guys, welcome back to Stingy Trigger. This is Trigger here again to talk a few more gun facts with you. Today I'd like to talk about a term that is quite possibly one of the most misrepresentative, misleading terms in the firearms debate. I am, of course, referring to the phrase gun show loophole. A lot of folks have heard this phrase crop up into the forefront of the gun control debate, especially recently thanks to several very high-profile national tragedies here in the United States. And you've no doubt heard a lot of politicians, talking heads, lobbyists, pundits, and so forth using the phrase gun show loophole. Now, what exactly is the gun show loophole? Well, a lot of folks would want you to believe that it is an error, an omission, a loophole in the law, if you will, that allows those, such as those judged mentally incompetent or career criminals or felons or what have you, who are, for one reason or another, forbidden from owning firearms, to once again own them and gain access to them simply by making a purchase at a gun show. And this is, quite frankly, incorrect. Most of the folks that are at gun shows are full-time retailers. They do their background checks, they file their paperwork, they keep track of everything, and everything is above board. It is very hard to purchase illegally any firearm at a gun show. The quote-unquote gun show loophole, what it actually refers to is the private party sale of a firearm. Quite simply meaning one private individual selling a piece of property of theirs to another private individual. In this case, it simply happens to be a firearm. It is no different than, say, an individual wanting to sell his car to another individual, or someone to sell an album, or a t-shirt, or a video game. It is simply the exchange of money for goods, in this case, that just happens to be a firearm. And when they refer to a gun show loophole, what they actually are talking about is disallowing the private party sale between two individuals of a piece of property. It would require that you take the gun to a registered dealer for a background check to be performed, for a waiting period in the case of states that have waiting periods. And all of this, of course, increases government control, increases revenues, and of course, increases the cost and hassle to the end users of said firearm. Now, for those of you thinking, well, would background checks really be that bad of a thing? Let me phrase it to you in this way. Would you ever buy or sell an automobile to anyone other than a dealership if you were required to go to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles or to a car dealership and forced to wait several days while a background check is conducted and the vehicle is held for you? You're not allowed to receive your money if you're selling, and you're not allowed to receive your vehicle if you are purchasing without going through this increased bureaucracy. No, you would simply go back to the dealer every time and buy and sell your cars there, as they would already be set up to do so. Again, for those of you thinking that's not a bad thing, well, what about for those that have multiple cars who maybe need to sell them in order to make some quick cash? What about those who, say, can't afford a dealer's prices for a particular piece of property, in this case, a car? If you can't afford to purchase from a dealer, most often you can afford to purchase from a private party. And of course, there is also the trouble of if you have to sell to the dealer first, you're not going to get top dollar for the particular piece of merchandise that you are attempting to resell. And the same goes, again, whether it is a comic book or a gun or a car or any other piece of private property. So you can see how silly the concept of closing the gun show loophole actually would be. And try not to let yourself be misled by those that would use the term gun show loophole. It simply does not exist. It is another political, made-up term that is designed to influence and to scare rather than to communicate fact. So if you're going to engage in debate, don't let yourself use the phrase gun show loophole. Make sure you call it what it really is, a private party sale. As always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more fun gun and project videos. And remember, we're just a couple of city slickers working this out as we go along. Thanks for watching.